Hi. I'm not in the woods yet, but I'm working on it. I do have my Care Bear shirt on, though, so you can see that. That's pretty exciting. Um, so, but it's rather late, as it so often is when I am talking with you. It's kind of like pillow talk, isn't it? It sort of is. But I've been working quite a bit today on some things that I never quite get around to, but part of the reason that I haven't prioritized them is because I haven't really had a reason to just yet. So what I've been doing today that's come up, there was sort of this portal of opening of time to do this. It was kind of amazing. Once I was in it for about 2 hours, I was like, oh, wow, I'm doing this. So what I did was I was organizing my computer because we're going to need to go into a server type of space pretty quickly here. Basically, like 10 minutes ago is about when I'd like to do it. So I figured, well, the best way to get that started, in addition to sending out my inquiries to people who know things, is to clean up the files, right, and to understand where everything is. And I've done some projects lately that have been really hurried, and we've had some deliverables to take care of, and so I haven't really filed those super carefully. I was just kind of trying to churn them out. So it's kind of finding those, making sure they have appropriate titles on them, all that kind of thing. So that's what I've been working on, actually, all day until I went to visioning session this evening with a group of just incredible, incredible people. But sorry, I was just seeing if that was a cat. It's not a cat. There's actually nothing there. But somehow I saw some energy moving. I don't know what it was. It's invisible, though, apparently, except to my peripheral eye. So whatever that says. Um, but it was interesting because in the course of doing this organization, I really started asking myself what I realized were some fairly significant questions about the way that the business is going to be set up and the way that it is set up. And the really, really big one was sort of how to verticalize. Is that even going to be a thing in the new paradigm? I don't know. So I'm really thinking about that very deeply and carefully. And the reason that it came up, this sounds kind of mundane, but it's real. So, um, I have a parent umbrella company, right? Allwell Brands, which you're watching the channel of, and then I have the Munchos Raw Snacks national campaign going on right now, right? So, well, things like how do we file? Do we file everything under Allwell Brands, or do we know that since Munchos Raw is the main big campaign right now, that we make that bigger? Do we have an online file folder and have everything in it under there, or do we have a Munchos Raw folder and have the online for Munchos Raw under there? Like, how do we do this? And if you could see the files, you would understand better what I'm talking about, probably too. Or if you've ever done file organization to any degree, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but it was interesting because really the larger questions that it brings up are significant, and they're really about, are we going to stay in the old paradigm, or are we going to move to the new one? And what does it mean to move to the new one, and what does it mean to stay in the old one? Is everything old going to be thrown out? Is some of it valid in the new paradigm? I'm thinking probably not. Like, I'm not, that's not my gut right now. Um, that it would still be valid. So I created something new. But it also got me thinking about, oh my gosh, am I just going to form another corporation the that's the fancier version and the cooler version of whatever's going on now? But am I still going to need, you know, people who don't really want to be there, who don't really have that as their true calling, or who have such compartmentalized roles in the organization, because I'm forming this big organization and there's going to be a lot of files. There's already, wow, so many files. So many I can't even believe that I created all of them. But, it is a library of a few years' work, I suppose. So what I'm realizing is that staying on point and staying focused and staying within the new paradigm is really about asking those questions, always asking the question, right? And I think I sound very clear on it right now, don't I? I feel very clear on it. but it could, of course, change because it's constantly evolving. So I await the expansion. But what I feel like I'm getting is basically a confirmation. The more I think about it, it's a confirmation of how we've been doing it so far, which is that basically people have just been showing up and starting to do magical, amazing things for the company. And most of the time, they're not people that I'm paying. And most of the time, I'm not paying anybody at all. It really is just people coming, and their beingness and their passion and their dharma, I'm going to say, is to participate in this process. And what's amazing is that their very deepest, kind of darkest gut kind of gifts come up, and they begin giving those freely, and it's unbelievably gifted. It's unbelievably magical, the things that are going on within this company. And, and the company is just baby, right? So, and it's unbelievably organized and unbelievably globally rigorous and compatible. It's just gorgeous stuff that these people are putting out. So I think that my job, in addition to being the head prayer of the organization, is to just make sure to keep asking people, tell them, I have told people this, said, if you want to work with the organization, if you want to work with me at all, I need to know everything that you really, really love doing. And I don't need to know anything else, almost. I really just need to know what you love doing, and what would you love doing if you were completely free, if you were completely without any barriers around you, without any constraints, any fear, any scarcity, any worry about money, if you had everything you needed right now, which of course the secret is, I think we have that already, but that's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Okay. You can tell people. I guess it's okay, since we're all friends. But really, that's what I need to know. I need to know not just what you've already figured out that you love to do, that you do on the weekends, or you do 10 minutes a day, or every other year, or whatever, on vacation. I need to know what's urgent for you. And if you don't know, then you need to go figure it out first, and then come see me. Because I cannot, and I will not, I could, but I will not create this company to be only created around a structure. I will not do it. We are creating the company to be around people's gifts, and that is the only thing that is around. And if we find that those gifts are compatible with our mission and our mandate in the world, then we run with it. And if we find that they are not compatible, we haven't found that yet, but we could, who knows, then we say, okay, then what do we do to help you quantum leap? What do we do to help you get to where you need to go, which may not intersect with us? But of course we all intersect, so of course it's going to intersect. So that's what I think the work is. So I'm really thankful that came up. That this, what looks like mundane filing sort of situation, looking for a server system and all of that. By the way, if you know anything about that, please let me know, because I'm totally new to that. I'm going to learn it really fast. But that process brings up the question, right? It brings up the importance and the urgency of, oh shit, why are we doing this, right? Is there a real reason, and are we creating an organization? And if we are we creating an organization that is responsive to gifts, and that is responsive to actual beings, actual humans, and actual motivations and the ways that we are built as unique creatures? Or is it not? And if it's not, then we don't need to be doing it, because everybody else has already done that. We don't need to do that. So that's what's going on over here. I also want to mention, I think I mentioned this the other day, but I want to mention it again, partly because it's businessy and we're talking business, and partly because I think something weird was going on with the video that day, and so I'm not even sure you heard this, but this is, it's an appropriate time to kind of revisit it, I think, and that is that within in the change management universe, there is simply not a need. There's simply not a need for change management if we're building organizations that are not built around being organizations. If they are built around people, if they are built only to serve people and only to serve through people, then everybody's taken care of. There's never a time when we would be concerned about change if we feel that we are the change, right? We're only concerned about other people's changes. That's the truth. And so as a professional change manager in Paradigm 1, I am declaring that there's no need for change management anymore. I see that energy again. Doggone it. There's nothing there visible. I'm looking over again and I'm like, really? There's nothing there visible? There's not. But anyway, only my peripheral eye and my heart can see that, apparently. Yeah, so that's the mandate for Allwell Brands. That's what I know for sure. And the energy moving through is huge. And I want to give a shout out to this visioning group that I was with tonight. Just like incredible, incredible, incredible people and beings and spirits and just willing participants in the process and in the evolution of our paradigms. And I'm so grateful to be a part of that. I just can barely even stand it. All of that gratefulness can barely fit in my body, really. So, yeah, and I met someone that I'm going to be interviewing coming up, and I'm not going to tell you a lot about that person, and I didn't tell that person what I was going to interview them about or anything at all. I just told them that I needed to interview them. And they kindly and bravely agreed to do that without any information. And so I think it's going to be, I know that it's really good, because the one thing that I heard the person say, I was like, oh yes, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about it on film, on camera, in real time, and share it with you. So in addition to these kind of daily-ish updates, I know they haven't been daily, and I'm going to move into that more daily, maybe generally a little bit shorter, but daily updates, and you can watch what you want to watch. It's up to you. It's all you, friend. So that's that. I think that's that. Yeah. Blessings on you this Friday night. It's already Friday, and I'm going to go camping for a few days, so if you don't hear from me, it will be because there's no internet even on my jetpack in the mountains. But I expect that somehow it's going to come through anyway. So, yes, that is all. Continue your evening. Love to you.